when I left school, I would have got it for free. I would have got a grant. And then the Conservatives came in.
And said, pay for your education, you dumbass.
There we go. Yes.
It works better when you have the right stream key in there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's normally good. When you have the key to the lock.
All right.
Nice delay there. Nice delay.
I'm still coming down, man.
Oh, I thought last week was a clusterfuck.
Share, people.
Working on it.
What are we sharing on?
YouTube's. As fucking always, because we only got...
We're not on the Facebooks.
Yeah, we're in about a month and a half. We'll not be doing the streams on the Facebooks anymore.
We should remind our listeners about that.
I have been.
Yup.
Just keep reminding people.
All right, we got about a minute.
Yep.
UK.
Oh, well, hello, Cortez.
Look what the cat dragged in.
That guy.
What's up, guys?
Yo.
Today is probably going to be short for me, just because I got some stuff going on here.
No, mate, do what you gotta do, man. Alright, done.
All right, everybody good?
Jartan, you're just like moving rooms? Just moving rooms all the time, Jartan?
Nope.
No, it's different. It's different background, man.
Yep.
That's all.
Swoosh wa swoon.
I don't like.
Who's got
I don't
intro?
Like how this camera's positioned.
Wayne, you got intro.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not? Hello,
It's your
everyone.
turn.
Welcome. Just talk over me then. Welcome to the Bing podcast. This is where we take all of the week's news and stuff and put it in the bin. The bin being Be Informed Now. We talk about current affairs, just what's going on in the world, and give our own little twist on it from the perspective of Europe, from Norway, Sweden, UK, and over to America, even though we've got Chicago and Orange County in the house. So if I would like to introduce my friend and host, Mikey Famine. Say hello, my man.
Hello, world. I'm coming down off of edibles. Everybody leave me alone.
It's Joe Rogan, man.
I hope. I hope.
And in the center here we have Brenna Duncan, super producer.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Jartan did not come over and kidnap me. I just
Wow.
want to let everybody know. Just
Speaking of the devil, Jartan. Say hello, introduce yourself, my man.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are doing better than I am. Just arrived back home after a failed kidnapping attempt in Europe.
failed, right?
Failed miserably.
And then over to my left on screen, my man, Cortez. How you doing, man?
And as you can see, I never yielded. And as you can see, I am not dead.
All right. Anyway, how the fuck is everyone?
Let's score whatever everybody's drinking. Let's just start off with that.
We're doing better than Progress Wrestling Association.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Let's go around the room. Mikey, what's going on with you, my man?
I got a cherry Coke and some rum, per the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it very slow. Trying to get some ballast under me.
Good things.
Yeah, you getting down off that edible, yeah?
little bit.
Yeah.
A little
Brenna,
bit.
how are you this fine day?
I'm good. I'm recovering from having a little bit of a flu thing yesterday.
COVID.
Was it COVID? Was it
COVID.
COVID? Was it COVID?
She had COVID.
Everyone, get your masks. Get your masks.
She's got the COVID.
I think I'm safe.
Thanks, guys.
Mine's not working.
That was the bid podcast. Yeah.
Let me get my Lysol for my screen because you look right. You're right on it. Let me just hit that.
Hey, Mike, you might want to get some Febreze on that as well. You
Man,
stink.
Brenna, you over here messing with me too. Let me just make sure.
Just in case.
Nartan, what's going on with you, my man?
As per usual, Thursday night is Amarone night.
Good man.
I didn't even get to say I've got some cream soda.
Because you don't drink, we don't care. Come on.
It's not that I don't drink. I don't drink in the middle of the day because I'm not, a psychopath.
Or European.
Yeah, because
Or
that
you
would
not-
be bad, right? I'm getting bad vibes from this.
Yeah, if you're French, you have like a croissant and a glass of wine.
Well, it's not brunch. If it was brunch, if we all just said this was brunch, like brunch
Most of the time.
that would be
Oh yeah, it'd be wine, Coke
A
off the
little-
table.
a little mimosa.
I
Maybe
was just about to say, like, everybody in fucking California fucking does mimosa for fucking brunch.
yes. I just did on Sunday, the first time I went out to a restaurant to watch football, and I went to Tilted Kill and I had a little mimosa flight. And I
Nice.
usually don't drink
It
mimosa.
is Orange County.
I mean, we have to have the oranges as part of it.
Cortez, what's going on with you, my man?
Well, I think instead of talking about what's going on with me, we should talk about your son's drug addiction.
Wow. Straight in.
He's
Straight
10. Fuck you.
So we're not even going to waste any time. I think we should probably address the issue at hand. Brenna,
What are you drinking? Nice try, Wayne. What are you drinking?
Probably Shiraz.
Merlot, actually.
Oh.
It's Merlot.
Mid-month Merlot.
Okay.
Is it from the south?
That's from the shop.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, as
a monster.
as I seem to be in charge of this shit show today, what subject should we go into first? Mikey.
Gavin Newsom.
Oh.
Elaborate.
That's mine.
It
is.
We're just doing straightforward mine. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, that's fine. Great. Cool. Okay. So
Cool.
wow.
Maybe you should have had that mimosa anyway. Regardless.
Okay. I guess it's my topic now, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
shut up until I'm done talking. So somebody's making a lot of noise in the background.
I got
Just
it.
Anyway, so if you go to so Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies just released a poll of our governor Gavin Newsom, so the governor of California, and his definitely his response to the pandemic, to the fires, to other such things that we have, like the homelessness issue, especially going into this would be like a midterm, so kind of his halfway point as governor. So remember, he also was lieutenant governor for 8 years prior to this. So his name has been up up there for a long time. So going to this Berkeley poll, it says the question was overall job that Gavin Newsom is doing as governor now compared to last year among California registered voters. So his approval rating is 64%, while his disapproval is 36%. This is almost the exact split between registered Republicans, as well as registered Republicans being about 30-ish%, 25 to 30%, and then registered Democrats or non-party preference is fairly close to 60%. So it's almost like, to me, it's still it's very much a political divide on whether or not you approve of him or disapprove of him. And right now, there are petitions. There's even a website that I will not give the URL for, but it involves recalling Governor Newsom because people don't like, not being told not to spread a deadly disease to their friends and family.
Yeah.
I
How
don't know.
dare you?
People don't like to be told what to do by
I'm
authority
confused.
figures.
Yeah. And I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that he is like openly a Democrat. I mean, he's openly a Democrat. We live in California, which is openly Democrat. There's nothing if and or but about it. But
As opposed to being a closeted Democrat.
well, yeah. So you
No, like I'm not making a joke. I'm like confused. Why do you say openly Democrat?
So, especially here in Orange County, for many years because we're we have been Republican leaning for so many years that I discussed this last night with my fellow Democrats, that we used to actually have to be closeted Democrats. We couldn't really come out and be for liberal causes. It had to be very secretive. It was like, oh my God, you're a Democrat. Great. We're friends. But we can't talk about anything else because we would get, our asses ripped apart. But
Whoa. What kind of meetings you go to?
Not that kind of show, Wayne. Down, Wayne.
If you want to see that kind of show, go to thedeviants.com. And Michael's got a website that will describe that.
wow.
Can we edit that out in post, please?
You try to share a story just to fill the dead air, and who knows how it'll be used against you later.
Wow.
Who knows?
That's a different kind of BBC website.
Are you guys shaming gay people? Is that what that is? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, just you.
Okay.
Just you.
Just checking.
No, I'm just saying, like, Brenna said asses ripped apart, and I just wanted to give people a visual. So, yeah. So go to.
Great.
Edit that out.
Okay.
Not a
so
chance.
Another part of this poll was voter assessments of the job Newsom is doing in handling each major issue. So we have issues like the coronavirus, climate change, race, healthcare, immigration, homelessness, wildfires, crime, education, the usual stuff that somebody would be asked, like, what do you care most about? So for the coronavirus, excellent or good is 49% of registered voters, which is very good to compared to the other issues that people also care about. So his lowest is actually homelessness, which is I don't like doing this, but that's okay.
We
I
won't
can
see
help you
all
out.
of everything.
Okay. So here is this is from the UC Berkeley polling site. So this is not just some random article. This is an actual poll. That was educational poll. As you can see, homelessness is actually his least favorite. And what I have read that the reason why is because the coronavirus, the wildfires have actually caused more homelessness and for people losing access to their home. So of course it's one of those where yes, his coronavirus response has been great, but then you have all these other factors that come into place: education, crime, um, access, the jobs, all this stuff. So all these things kind of fall along the wayside, right? So, um, I thought this was sort of an interesting perspective on a governor and see that there still is, regardless of what the perspective is, the coronavirus, it's still going to be in California. We are still split on party lines, very much so. Um, so that's my Newsom poll. Shall we go to the coronavirus poll to just give a good idea
Yeah, we can switch over to that
Yeah.
one.
where we are in coronavirus? So here's another one poll by the UC Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies about the perceived seriousness of coronavirus. So right now, California, our numbers are slowly kind of staggering. They're kind of going a little low, kind of up and down, depending on what happens. Opening of different businesses. The schools are going to start to open. We're going to probably see a lot more, but the seriousness of the coronavirus as compared to just in July versus September, and noticing that the seriousness of it, the way people perceive it, is actually going down. It's become People are perceiving it as less serious, even though it's killing people. I'm still very confused. And even within this, so here's Orange County. So this is where I live. This little one right here. That's me. Right there. In July, it was very serious. It was perceived as being very serious, even though we were starting to open up in July. But now in September, that more serious number has gone down. I have no idea why.
I think it might be because you got a president that said it's not really that bad.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't he been caught saying, "Oh yeah, I downplay it all the time because I don't want to create a panic"? And maybe if that's
That was his excuse for not reading the the report.
But the problem is, if that's disseminated to the chattering classes and then down to the muckles, the working class, and the usual suspects, surely that means that it's kind of like a manufacturing consent of it's not that bad. It's all right. Oh, and
Yeah.
them fires over there, yeah, they'll go out in a minute. It get colder.
Yeah. It seems like it's almost people are trying to find an excuse to get rid of your governor or your mayor or whoever's in charge, whoever's being very strict on this or not being strict. Like our board of supervisors for Orange County was not very strict. I believe at the earlier this year in the podcast that we even talked about how our director of health was pushed out
Right.
because because there were a bunch of anti-maskers that didn't want to wear a mask to save people's lives, and they took it out on the person in charge of health. And the board of supervisors was okay with this. Their response was awful. And it was, it just seems like if you get more people on your side, the more they push for things to go backwards. Like we are going backwards. I read a book on the Spanish flu, which, by the way, we no longer call pandemics after places or groups of people because it's racial. People thought that it started in Spain.
Wasn't I was going to say, wasn't the naming of the Spanish flu completely disingenuous in itself because it started in America?
Yeah, and what also is that every other place in the world had different namings for this, and because America sort of took over this idea that it was the Spanish flu, and so that ended up spreading back just the name. So we no longer do that, and so it is not, coronavirus is not the Chinese virus or whatever kind of racist shit you want to say.
Kung flu.
But
Kung
that is
flu.
probably the worst thing ever.
Tremendously.
And by the way, Spanish flu is H1N1. It is the swine flu.
Yeah, it's a SARS virus. Yeah.
We now know what it is, and we have gone through it again. But this book was really interesting about how the way, like the curve. So, like a normal pandemic is a U shape, right? People die. The more sick die off, so fewer people die, and then ends up that more people end up dying, and then it dissipates. Well, the Spanish flu or the original swine flu was actually a W shape, because then all of a sudden, once you hit that low point, people thought, hey, there's no problem. We're all good. We can all go out and celebrate together and have
Ugh.
orgies or whatever they had.
That seemed very specific.
And so all of a sudden, a lot of people ended up dying, right? Because everybody else caught it. And then again, everything else ended up shutting down, and then another part of the U shape happened. So this W shape happened. I think that we're going to end up having something very similar to a W shape. And we're still not going to reach the top of this peak. And it's because of these shits. These shits
no, but
These shits who listen to the goddamn president. These shits that won't wear a mask. These shits that don't believe it. I'm done.
Thanks, Brenna.
I disagree, though. I think we're gonna have a M shape, not a W shape.
Fuck's sake.
No, but so here's the deal. We got the same thing going on over here, right? Not as much as in Sweden, because Sweden's been a shit show since day one, but especially when you look at my home country of Norway, people are sick and tired, especially the young people who know that like they're most likely won't die from it. They start not to care. They they're sick and tired of being locked up, and they are going out and they are not adhering to any quarantine rules, any distancing rules. They're refusing to wear face masks because who the fuck knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is not just going on in America. This is going on over in my home country, in Norway, as well.
Definitely
And
going
Norway,
on here too. It's going on here too.
so I think this is not a cultural or geographical thing. I think this is a human thing, and I think the solution is that we need to stop talking about going back to normal. We need to accept the fact that the old normal does not exist anymore, and we have to go into a new normal. We have to find our new balance and our new normal, because Corona is not going away. Like we are years and years off from a vaccine, and we just have to move the fuck on and try to find a new way of living and having Corona around us.
The problem we've got is we've got a generation of people who are just like, ah, fuck it, get on with it. It's fine, and you've got also a generation of people who are so propagandized that they're so scared and fearful, and the two cannot coexist. So we need to find a path where we can all just like, this is the rules, get on with it, right? And you got people that don't want to wear face masks in shops or in confined spaces. Okay, well then let's make a rule: you can't come in. End of. That's it. And if they don't like it, oh, you're curtailing my liberty or my freedom and all that. Well, this is a private business. You can't come in here. See you later, mate. You know, this is a public space that's paid for by the government. The government say this is the rules. If you don't adhere to them, you can't come in here. End of. It's quite simple, but unfortunately, we have so many libertarian-minded cohorts that it's very hard to implement that, because you will always get the one person who says, "Oh, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that." That exceptionalism that we all have within our own countries, where people think they're better than this thing that's on the news. They can beat it. They know more than the experts that are on the news. It's not a cultural thing. I think that is more a stubborn thing. People's egos know better than a geezer who's been studying science since he was a boy. You know, oh, I know better than you because I saw a YouTube video, or I saw some bloke that said something that was confirming my bias. This is the problem. We need to be able to say, this is the truth, right? Don't listen to this nonsense over here because it's bullshit, and move forward with that. Would you guys agree?
So for us to have any sort of intellectual discussion, we have to get a baseline of facts, and we have to
Yeah.
agree on that baseline of facts.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a baseline of facts, we are just tossing opinion or conspiracy theories, right? And
Right.
so for us to have an intellectual discussion about anything, we have to agree that Earth is round, vaccines help, and
Fake
yeah, but
news. Fake news.
yeah,
You lost me at round Earth.
Yeah, that's
So-
not true.
Yeah,
Can't
the
prove
point, but the point I'm trying to make is that if we can't even agree on the baseline of facts, there's no real discussion to be had, because, as you said, anything I will say would be labeled as fake news, and you will use your implicit bias to find only the evidence supports your original thesis. You will never accept the evidence that disproves your thesis. Just look
Right.
at that. What was it? Beyond the Curve, or what was called that Netflix documentary, right?
Yeah.
When
That's
he did that
beautiful.
experiment, that cost him like, he bought like a gyroscope and the laser that cost him like $5,000. and he didn't get the result that he wanted, and his only reaction was, "Oh, that's interesting." And then he spent the next 5 weeks trying to find out why his experiment went wrong, not why he did the experiment right. He was just wrong in his thesis.
I mean,
And-
how much do we just give up on trying to teach these older generations about how to think logically, how to trust experts, or even how to question experts correctly, how to question the science enough to get that information? Do we just said like these, okay boomer kind of things, like
No, because I think that is
or should we really focus on getting these younger people those sort of skills in order to determine, and so that they're not going to end up again like these older generations, which are stuck in their ways, don't want to listen to experts, especially younger people, like these young scientists that come out saying wear a mask, and all of it's like, don't, no, I won't, I can't breathe.
Brenna, I just want to challenge you there. I don't think it's a generational thing in the sense of older people are set in their ways. It's more a case of people's identity is based on their beliefs. So when you challenge their beliefs, you are basically challenging their identity, and you're kind of saying, no, you're wrong, and here is the factual evidence as to why you're wrong. And people will reject that out of hand because you're questioning everything that they believe in. So what we need to do is kind of just tease them over the line to find their own truths. Because
Rocket
how
to the
many
moon?
Shatan.
Mikey, we got some listener communication, don't we?
And real quick, I want to jump in, and that's one of the critical things about critical thinking is you have to, if you're going to challenge an expert's point of view on anything, you at least need to know what they're talking about, right?
Yep.
Like if you want to say, okay, these NASA people are just lying for money, it's like, no, I have the experiment here. It's like, oh, well, that looks like a fake experiment. It's like, well, if you could prove that it's a fake experiment, then that's very different than saying, doesn't look like that works. It doesn't look right it doesn't look right to me from here. You know what I mean? So it's different if you can say, you know what, that's not a proper gimbal. So you're 15 degrees of rotation per, you know what I mean? Like if you have some way of refuting it, then that's one way. But if you just say, well, anybody could be an expert. So how do I know that you're just a lying expert because you're a human and humans lie? And then they go down their whole rabbit hole of nonsense.
But you also have, no, but just give me a second. But you also have this thing where people like science has gotten things wrong in the past, and why should we believe everything that they say now? And my answer to that is that when facts change, your opinion should change with new facts. Like in the face of new information, change your fucking mind.
Exactly. Right. We are right now communicating over 2 continents with technology that we have no fucking idea how this works, right?
Speak
Or
for yourself.
we have an idea, but we couldn't knock it up in the kitchen, right? Yet when people sit there and go on the internet and say, oh yeah, science is wrong, you're using a fucking computer to say that science is wrong. Are you mental? What are you? Just go away. Just do one. You're quite happy to use science when it suits, but when science disrupts your beliefs and your understanding of your reality, it's wrong. Whilst I'm using my iPhone 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Ew, 5. That was like the worst one.
Nobody used the iPad 5 like this, dude. This is a phone.
I don't use iPhones. I'm a Galaxy man or Android.
You monster.
I know.
Disgusting.
I have a work iPad.
Yeah, just because your job fucking bought it for you. All right, listening communications, Mikey, go for it.
Mike, that I talked to yesterday on Neil the 604 Atheist. What up, Neil? on his show. He says there's a really interesting book that talks about exactly this. It's called The Death of Expertise. It is basically about how people don't trust experts about much of anything because they think that they know just as much as the expert because they spent 10 minutes on Google.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the thing is, this has been going on from time immemorial. Look at Galileo. Galileo said the world was round, and he was locked up for that. And oh look, shit, science proved him right.
Yeah.
So this is what people need to be shown. And unfortunately, if you get shit wrong, you need to be able to swallow your ego and say, "Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm wrong about that." Instead of doubling down and going, "Nah, you're all fake news," or the equivalent of the science terminology. At the end of the day, all science is theory, and that theory means it's ambiguous, which means it can be changed and can be elaborated on and can be improved. Science fact doesn't really exist.
Right.
Theory is just a proved thesis.
Exactly.
Gravity is a theory.
Exactly.
Like, we can't actually see gravity. We don't know what's the exact mechanism, but we do see the effects of it, and we can test those effects of something like gravity. So yes, there's a theory of gravity.
Yeah. All we know about gravity is that the larger the mass of object, the higher the gravity that it projects. But we don't understand how that works.
Warping of space-time.
Yeah, that's not that's not necessarily the truth either. We've learned that in space about some things being really big and not having the same amount of gravity as something much smaller. But I'm gonna say what that is. We can't dive down the rabbit hole of what's real and what's not real based on whether something is proved 10 times or 100 times. I think the more important thing is that there are things that I call that are commonly accepted or colloquial truths, and those are don't lick mold in the bathroom, because it's not good for you.
You're telling me how to live my life.
Things that things that go
Wow,
along the lines.
that escalated quickly.
If you want to see Mikey lick moles in the bathroom, you can go to thedeviants.com and look at the video.
No,
please don't start that again.
That's not me.
Please stop plugging that.
That's not me.
Like that happened.
Mikey's making
That was a
his
long
money.
time
Mikey's
ago.
making his money.
It's behind him.
I have nothing to do with any of that.
And if you notice, you'll see the cuts of Mikey's face and then the other bits, and you'll never see the two in the same shot.
I think that
not getting your royalty check this week, Wayne. You're not getting your royalty check.
He's getting paid. No, I see.
You're not.
I see as far as.
Oh my god.
No. I see. This is all I got. So.
You're welcome.
Easy, Maui.
I feel as if with the internet and how the internet is right now, people want to call themselves independent researchers, and I think that what they don't understand for the most part is that, for example, we're talking about masks. We have the idiots that say, "Oh, look, here's my mask," and then they spray like baby powder all over their face, and they're like, "Look, there's no baby powder here, but it's all over everything else." And I'm like, I don't think that you guys are understanding that not everything is the same, in that certain microns are much bigger or much smaller than what you're thinking that they are, and the fact that we can't see them physically means that people are going to be a lot more skeptical, because look at the world. People believe what they can see. And I think that's better to err on the side of caution. If someone told you that they had HIV or herpes or gonorrhea or syphilis, and you were going to sleep with them, and you decided to sleep with them, would you rather wear protective contraceptives, or would you rather just go in raw, like Wayne's show?
I would.
Yep, just like Wayne's show.
Wow.
I would simplify it more to a seatbelt. rather than going that.
You're on a show called Going In Raw. Like, you don't get to say anything about this.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, a seatbelt is probably a better analogy, because you don't get in your car to go and crash. You don't think you're going to crash, but you put your seatbelt on because you've been conditioned to put your seatbelt on because it's going to save your life. Other people go, "Oh, it's a bit uncomfortable. I don't really want to." All right, well, when you crash,
Well,
you
let me ask you this question: is it a belief that the seatbelt will save your life if you get into a car crash, or is it
No,
reasoning?
it's a mitigating factor.
It's
So the seatbelt.
It's statistical. I mean, if
It's a mitigating factor.
So
If I
right, that's
get in
the
a
same as
crash,
contraceptives.
yeah,
Contraceptives do work. They do work.
For some people, sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's say that
Let me
the
go on
percentages,
Jenna, how she was conceived.
the percentages. First of all, Wayne,
Gross.
you guys imbibe in massive amounts of alcoholic beverage.
Mhm.
In
Wow.
what was it? Cockney? In
whoa,
Cockney.
whoa, come
Alcoholic
on.
beverages directly affect the percentage rates and effectiveness of contraceptives. So that's your own fault, buddy.
I don't know where we are.
And here we stand.
We're talking about
please, because
we're
like
talking about
this
people
is
who
a rabbit
say,
hole that I'm
I
not
can prove your
fucking-
math doesn't.
I thought,
That's because you got 17 kids, you freaking Viking.
what? What is going on? Why am I under attack?
Sometimes it doesn't make any sense, does it, Wayne? Seems like you're just riding high on top of the
Okay.
world, and then the pod
Okay,
turns on you.
Wow.
Let's wrap this up a little bit. It's
this took a
going.
left turn.
It's off the rails. Off the rails.
Brenna, thank you. This is why you should have been here last week.
I know this is getting out of hand.
No.
Let's have our next topic. Because God forbid we ever not talk about the shit show that we're dealing with here. But you know what? Let's talk about the shit show that Wayne gets to handle.
Yes.
Wait, we're not talking about the Mandarin. The Mandarin.
Hey, Wayne, have you read any good books lately?
Right. So, what these jabronis are alluding to is the fact that my country, Great Britain, is leaving the EU. We passed a law called the Withdrawal Agreement with the EU. There was a back and forth, and we said this is what we agreed to. Happy days. But because certain things were going to be detrimental to the British economy, the British Parliament decided to pass a law that said, yeah, we're going to do what we like. The EU took umbrage to that and said, right, we're starting legal proceedings against you because this is not on. You can't make an agreement and then say, and pass it in law, we're going to go against that. So basically, Britain is trying to say, we're going to have our cake and eat it. And the EU are saying, no, you're not. The general consensus is that the reason that the EU have started these proceedings is because they want to seem strong to China, Russia, and the United States. If you mess with us, this is what we're going to do. It's not bully boy tactics, it's protecting their actual status. So, let me just read this to you. The EU began legal proceedings against the UK after it refused to ditch the plans to override sections of its Brexit divorce deal. An EU deadline for the government to remove sections of internal market bill expired on Wednesday. The letter of formal notice, which is basically saying we're doing this from the EU, could eventually lead to court proceedings against the UK at the European Court of Justice, the EU's top court. So what's happening is we literally think we are still Britannia rules the waves. We think we can go and do what we want, and the EU would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're Britain, yeah, whatever. Not so much. And I would like to get the opinions of my American and my Scandinavian friend about this. How do you feel?
So, just some questions on the deal. So,
Mhm.
the UK wanted out of the EU,
Yep.
right? And now they are fighting over what part of it now?
They're fighting over the part that basically says we have to have what's the word?
The euro?
Alignment. No, alignment with. But the problem is Ireland. Ireland is the biggest problem because
Sorry.
that was a big sigh. I didn't do
Sorry
that.
about that.
We're talking about your blooming county.
No, it's talking about Ireland. I'm very Irish. You haven't
No,
noticed.
Ireland has the Good Friday Agreement. So you have the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Right.
Northern Ireland is part of the UK. To have regulatory, I'll say that word, alignment between the EU and the UK, the Good Friday Agreement has to stay. So any products that go to the Republic of Ireland from Northern Ireland and vice versa have to be in accordance to EU regulation. Now, because we've left the EU, that means the border has to be in Northern Ireland, which would mean an end to the Good Friday Agreement, which just fucks everything up. So unless we have a united Ireland, we give back Northern Ireland to Ireland, we can't do this. And the EU are basically suing us for that very reason. Because
Why can't you do it?
Why can't we do it?
You said you give Northern Ireland back to Ireland. Like, why?
No, we can do that. That's not a problem. We can do that. But Britain won't do it, which means we have to put infrastructure in and a hard border in Northern Ireland between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland.
For all the
Mm.
trade, for all the
All right.
trade and stuff for
Yeah.
EU and non-EU.
Yeah, but the way that they were trying to get around this is that they said, all right, we're not going to put a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, but we're going to have a hard border towards
In the Irish Sea.
in the Irish Sea between the Irish Isles and the UK mainland,
Which does not work.
which does not work.
No, because there are people over the years after the Good Friday Agreement was signed, I think in '97. Someone fact check me on that, please. I think it was '97, the year I left school. The agreement was we would just have a free flow of commerce, people, whatever. There are no borders. There's nothing. There is no
April
infrastructure.
10th, 1998. You're off by a year.
1998. Sorry, yeah, by a year. Come on, mate.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Um,
I thought 95.
but there are people that literally have their front of the house in Ireland and the back of the house in Northern Ireland. Their house is in Ireland. Their back garden is in Northern Ireland. If you was to impose some sort of border, you're literally cutting people's houses in half. You are putting infrastructure up, which would straight away start the troubles again. And the troubles are, well, they're centuries old. Let's face it. And for me, I would like to see a united Ireland. Just let Ireland be Ireland, rather than us. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
Mike in the chat says, "Is it possible for the UK to hold another referendum to decide to stay in the EU?
No.
If so, I think that's what should happen, at least according to my understanding of the situation."
No, the thing is, all of the legislation has been passed, which means that we are out. We are at the minute out of Europe. On the 31st of December at midnight, we are out of Europe completely. We are in a transitional period at the moment, and as soon as the clock strikes on midnight, we're done. Which, unless we get a decent deal, I would have to get a visa to go and see Jartan. Jartan would have to crawl across hot coals to get to Britain. It's even going to France, which I can drive to a place called Dover in Kent, and I can see France. I can see it. I would need to get a visa to go there. It's a fucking shocking state of affairs, and it's all down to British exceptionalism, or I would say more English exceptionalism.
And does that
sorry.
are there other countries in Europe that are already set up like that? Like
No.
who's in Europe that's not in the
No.
European Union?
No.
It'll be just just England then?
So here's the deal: the only Western European countries who are not part of the EU is Norway and Switzerland.
But you're part of EFTA.
Yes, but we have Norway and Switzerland has never been a part of the EU. So when the EU was founded, and because both Switzerland and Norway are very wealthy countries, we were able to get these EFTA deal, which is free travel and free trade deals, which basically means
And you're part of Schengen as well, aren't you?
you're part of Schengen as well. As you can travel across the borders without carrying a passport. You only need your national ID. So your driver's license is good enough for you to travel across borders, right?
So what's the point of being in the EU if you can have those other two agreements?
So just bear with me, and
Jartan, let me chime in on that because I can do this, because you can be in those agreements of the EU, but you can't have a say on the rules. That's the difference. Everyone who's in the EU can say, do you want Stella on tap? Yes, we do. Okay, everyone wants Stella on tap. Norway and Switzerland can say, oh, we don't want Stella on tap. Fuck you. That's basically it.
And it was never beneficial for Switzerland or Norway because they are the two only countries in Western Europe who does not have a national debt to join the EU, which means because you pay the EU based on your national gross product, and these two countries have a very small population and a lot of wealth.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jartan. And Switzerland has always been prided itself on being the international banking sort of what's the word? Where you can just everyone can bank there, but it doesn't really matter about international stuff.
Yeah, and so it wasn't beneficial for Norway. It wasn't beneficial for Switzerland for different reasons. But we still contribute in our own way to the EU society. But we wouldn't get anything like Norway wouldn't get as much from the EU. We have something that the EU wants. So it wasn't really beneficial for us, for Norway, to be a part of the EU. It would just benefit the EU. It would just cost us a piss load of money.
And they have to abide by the rules.
Yeah, and we would have to abide by the rules. But we still because everybody wants the oil, of course, because it's all back to the oil again. It was more beneficial for us to have the free trade agreements and the free travel agreement, and then don't have to pay them shitload of money. This is not the case for the UK. The UK has been a part of the EU.
We fucking started it. Maggie Thatcher was the architect of it. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
So never being a part of something means that you don't have to leave it. Then you can sort of on your own merit start doing negotiations and stuff like that. Leaving something is a lot more difficult, and it's in every aspect of everything. It's always more difficult. And even if UK had the legal ways to get to reverse that referendum, they would be in for a shit show with EU when they asked to be let in. Like it would be horrible for them.
Right. So Jartan, let me tell you what we'd have to do. We would have to adopt the euro. That was one thing that was negotiated by Gordon Brown when he was Prime Minister. Chancellor, that we are not joining the euro. So we was exempt from that. If we were to try and rejoin, we would have to have the euro, which all of these patriots, what we can't have the Queen's face on our money. That's fucking disgusting. We ain't having that. That's the attitude that you're dealing with. That is the kind of person.
What do you guys lose if you lose the pound and you have to switch over to the euro?
Not really much, because I think the euro is 112. One exchange rate is 112. €1 sorry, £1 buys 112 euros, which would mean 12p difference, which is nothing.
So you would lose control over your own currency. I think that is the strongest argument. Is that the currency would all of a sudden be regulated by a central government in Brussels, not by your own.
And we would lose financial clout in the sense of Canary Wharf would no longer be the financial hub of Europe, which is now going to go to Frankfurt, I believe. Oh, Germany are winning. Oh no, we can't have that. Oh, they just have pricks. I just the whole thing annoys the shit out of me, because it's like we've got this really good thing where we can just fly to Europe. You can drive across Europe, and you haven't got any border checks, you haven't got any customs checks or anything like that, because everyone is in agreement. But because you don't like Johnny Foreigner, we're getting rid. It's pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. Sorry,
Yeah, I would ask everybody to look at how horrible, like, just take a look at how horrible the Irish-British conflict back in 70s and 80s, how horrible it was, and take a look at it.
It's horrendous.
And how being exceptional, the British exceptional, the English exceptionalism,
It is English exceptionalism.
How dangerous it would be, and how horrible it would be if that conflict started forming again, because the Sinn Féin, the IRA, it's still existing. It's not a thing of the past. It's still.
So it's there. It's there all day long.
So for you who don't know, Sinn Féin is the political arm of the IRA.
Sorry, let me correct, Jartan. This is your accent. It's Sinn Féin.
Yeah, it's the political arm of the IRA. And these organizations are they haven't gone away. They are dormant, and they're there, and they are.
And the new IRA is a big thing.
Yeah. All right, mid-roll, please. Brenna, you're on.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to us here at the Bin Podcast. Sorry, I'm a little hot in here. If you would like to help us and contribute to the show, please go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast and sign up for one of our wonderful tiers of patrons. So as we have now, we have 8 patrons. We have Ricky, we have Miss Nana, we have David, we have Katarina, we have Stuart, Austin, Kristen, and Richard. So please, that is go to the Bin Podcast, patreon.com/the-bin podcast. Become one of our patrons, whether you're going for the $1 or the chicken show. Please the chicken show, and help us out a little bit, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our Zoom calls.
which was supposed to be this weekend, but it's going to be next weekend, and I'll be sending the link out and the times out during this weekend
Perfect.
because I've dropped the ball again.
All right. So let's move on to the last topic.
Little. We got two topics, and we got a little more housekeeping. We got 13 people watching. Hey y'all, what y'all doing? We will no longer be streaming on Facebook starting January 1st. Facebook is only good at taking our money and they're not good at promoting our show. So we're done with Facebook. So we're going to try and focus everything into Twitch and YouTube. All the links should be in the description. So please give us a sub over there. Thanks again for getting us to the 100 mark so we can do our cool custom URL. But yes, YouTube and Twitch starting January 1st. Don't want to forget that.
And
Don't forget.
We would really appreciate it if you share, subscribe, leave a comment on all your social platforms so we can reach out to as many people as possible, please. Thank you.
And I'd like to say to my people that are watching this on my thing, you know I talk bollocks about politics and all that sort of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. Fucking share it. Stop being dicks. That'll learn you.
And make sure you don't sign up for the $100 tier because I really don't want to do the chicken show.
We're not going to say those kind of things. Yes, sign up for the $100 tier so we can see it.
If you sign up for the $100 tier, I will stop talking shit and allow my good friend Jatan to don a chicken suit and copulate with livestock. Just saying.
Okay.
Hi Austin, and we're gonna stay in the UK because when you have another story.
What?
A certain author. You read any good books lately?
Oh, that's me. That's me.
Oh, that's yours.
No, that's Sartan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. All right. I'm gonna just give me a second, and I'll share screen.
Just so xenophobic, Mikey. Just because he's about a UK citizen.
I kind of got confused. Like I said, still coming down.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Oh no, wrong window. Oh fuck. Oh, sorry.
This just confirmed what we already knew.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jartan doesn't have Pornhub. He has chicken videos. Like
it's called the Red Cluck.
That's how he goes to sleep.
Can I just stop everyone right now? Why do you think he bought all those GoPros?
I know.
The 360 one.
Yep.
Let me watch you lay.
Oh. Oh my god.
Stop hating on chickens. Stop hating on chickens. All right. So
I can't do that. I can't do this anymore.
He's gonna join the meeting with some like Oculus Rift on. It's like, no, it's gone VR.
He's got a fisheye on it.
So here's what I want to talk about is that there's been a shift in the feminist movement where some feminists are saying that trans women are not real women, and this first came to my attention with one of my favorite authors, J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books. Posted this tweet. Give me a second. There we go. This tweet. People who menstruate. I'm not sure. There used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Womban, wimpound, woman. Opinion creating more equal post-COVID-19 world for people who menstruate. So a lot of people took this as her saying that for you to be a woman, you have to menstruate. That is like the metric. for being a woman. And of course, trans women around the world got upset by this. She's doubled down on this numerous times, and I've seen many feminists, a lot of them, chiming in, saying that trans women shouldn't be a part of like the feminist movement is for women only, and we shouldn't have these men who just say that they identify as women shouldn't be accepted into that feminist movement. And I don't get it. It's like the perception is that every transgender male out there who identifies as a woman is gonna walk into women's bathroom and start waving his dick around.
I've got a
like
fucking zinger. I've got a zinger for you on this.
yeah,
A zinger.
because like no, but like women's bathrooms are generally stalls, right? And it's not like you're just
Yeah.
running around showing everybody your pussy. It's not like you're just like. I would be very upset if I went into a male bathroom and people would a men's room and people would just start waving their dicks around. It would be really
It's
weird.
jealousy. We all know.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. We're
Yeah,
talking like
Brenna's got a massive
baby
copper.
carrots here. That's why I
Brenna
only
walks
take.
into a room like this.
No, no, but
Sometimes you
we
gotta throw it
agree,
on the
like,
table.
Whip it
Why-
out, baby. Whip it out.
why do we think that trans women all of a sudden would run into a women's bathroom and start waving their dicks around? I just don't fucking get it.
Who is
What
we?
is the problem?
Who is we before when the hate mail shows up? I just want to be
Right.
sure
No,
who he is.
Why do feminists think?
There you go.
Why do these feminists that think
Some.
as the ones that are saying this
These
that
specific types.
these
These
specific
anti-trans feminists, which
Yeah.
to me, if you are an anti-trans feminist, get the fuck out of the feminist movement.
They have a name. They're called TERFs.
Yeah. Get out. Because you're not helping. Feminism is not about women only. It's about equality and getting all types, including women, including trans women, trans men, non-gender specific individuals, to give them an equal opportunity in this world and actually work towards that. And make sure that our government is for equality, that our healthcare system is for equality, that we live in a society where people are considered equal. And so if you believe you are superior to another group of people, you are not a fucking feminist. Get out. Sorry.
Wait.
Wait.
This is not a classroom, mate. You don't need to
Is
put
your
your
name Wayne? You fucking chicken
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah,
prick.
oh sorry, I didn't put my hand up.
Jartan.
I waited there
It is Wayne's turn to speak.
I
Let
waited
him
there patiently.
speak.
I just want to say,
Yes, mommy.
oh god, that's creepy.
Ugh.
Right,
Got
Let's
goose
see more
pimples.
I see a completely distinct difference between gender and sex. Is that something that there is a consensus, or is there any conflict within our panel?
No, but we had Austin on to teach us about this.
No, I'm saying, is there a difference in your mind? Is there a difference
Yes.
between gender and sex?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if someone identifies as a female, for me, don't care about their bits. If you identify as a female, that's your thing. If you are a male, then and you have male bits, but you identify as a female, that's fine. If it's vice versa, That's absolutely fine. But gender and sex are totally different. You have to separate the two. You can't say the two are the same. Agreed?
Yeah, I'm being very careful about my words. The mobs will not come for me. As a trans ally, JK sounds like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She sounds utterly hateful and um well deserved of all of her ridicule.
I feel that, because if you think about gender roles in normal society, gender roles tend to be very like the mother is the nurturing, the housekeeper, that kind of role. But if you're a man and you do that, oh, that's quite detrimental to your masculinity. Well, it's not, because all you're doing is filling a role. So how can doing a specific job determine your male or female sex when the role that's gender specific is not?
No, but it's the whole narrative of that you have to menstruate to be identified as a woman, or do I have to have like actual living sperm to be a man? What if I
No,
cut the tubes?
no.
What if I cut the tubes? Like, am I no
This,
longer a man then?
see, this
What?
is the thing, right?
No,
You
but
know,
just give me a second. And when
Yeah.
people, when
oh,
women go into um when what's it called again? Menopause.
Menopause.
Yeah. Are they
menopause,
no
yeah.
longer women for some
Or,
reason? Like,
or they're barren from birth.
yeah, and why the fuck do we have to have these idiotic fucking metrics? Because it's so fucking stupid, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like not being able to have an opinion on a certain subject because you don't live that life or live
Yeah,
in that geographical location.
yeah, but we don't do that over here.
Have your fun, boys. Have your fun.
No, but
Make hay while the sun is shining, young men. Make hay.
I'm not a gay man, but I can have an opinion on what I feel gay men should have to experience. Equality. Oh no, you can't
Oh
say
no.
that because you're a straight brown man. How dare you?
Yeah. You're a
Oh,
gender traitor.
I'm from Europe.
You're a sexual orientation traitor. Like,
Yeah.
no, like I will be an ally, and I don't know any other way to be. Like,
Mhm.
like how are people so against groups of people that they don't know?
Right.
Like, how can they, like, and somebody who has a platform and using that platform in negative ways. J.K. Rowling is very widely known across
You
the world.
think?
Across the world.
Sold
She
a
was
few
like
books.
one of the wealthiest women in the UK. Well, not anymore.
I think she's doing it right.
um, but she, like, how does she not understand what the power of her words are, and what is she trying to get
I
out of
think
it?
I think the I
And
think
that's the question. I'm not done. The question is, she's using her Twitter platform, a huge platform, where people are going to retweet, they're going to read, they're going to comment. This is a big platform. What was her point? What was she trying to get out of it? And why what is happening?
can I try and not defend her, but can I try and sort of like understand her mentality?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's
I
how we grow.
I think that she's probably looking at it in negative, because she was a single mum, and she grafted her way through to her riches by, just doing her own thing. And I think that when you're in that position, you're quite defensive about certain subject matters, and maybe again, this is speculative on my part.
Mhm.
Maybe she's looking at it as in saying, not all men are legit when they claim to be women, and I think that's where she's drawing her defense, in the sense of, oh yeah, this geezer might say he's a woman, and he comes into the toilet when I'm there, and I feel threatened by the fact that there's a bloke that's there. But if it was one of her trans friends, they'd be all right. But it's the other ones that they don't know
Mm.
that's the problem. And I think maybe that lack of exposure towards other trans men, women, or whatever the flip flop dynamic is probably where she's drawing her opinion from. And again, completely speculative on my part, but I think that's what it comes down to, because we can only deal with what we know. And we've all got that mate. Oh, he's all right. The rest of them, they're all wrong uns. We've all got that person that says that. We've all got that person that says that. So maybe it stems from that, giving her the benefit of the doubt. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's as a brown, all right bloke, according to a lot of racist white people that I know. That's where it comes from. Is that a fair analysis, or
Yeah.
I don't know, because I here I am in deep fucking waters, and I am not afraid to admit it. For me, it's don't have a problem with what you identify with, or it doesn't matter to me what your genitalia is or what extremities are. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't have a problem with you being trans at all. I do want to know if anybody out there is listening right now and they do have an opinion about this. Please write it out in the comment section, and we will make sure that Mike really reads it out loud for us. But I don't know what all the new pronouns are. I know there are a lot of them. I have not been exposed to them. I don't really know what they are. So
yeah, I don't know, and do you know what? I don't care if you want to call yourself. Well, you case in point, Jartan. You call yourself Bob. I'll call you Bob all day long if you want me to call you Bob.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's not a pronoun. It's not a pronoun. I'm a cisgender man, so like I don't fucking care. But if you like, just give me or the benefit of the doubt. If I call you she or he and you don't like that, just let me know and I'll call you whatever the fuck you want. But it's I don't fucking care. We're all fucking people, and doesn't fucking know what you identify with or what your genitalia is. I don't. It's. I don't get why this is a problem. Like, my gender, probably because I'm a cisgender man, has never been under attack, and I don't really feel attacked by other people identifying as a male like me. I really
In
I just don't
in the
get the
same
controversy.
in the same vein, is it right for us to tell people whether they should feel offended or not?
No, I'm saying I don't get it. I need somebody to tell me what the problem is. I need
That's
them to
what
explain
I'm
it to me.
asking. That's what I'm asking you. If someone says to you, "Can you call me they, him, she, or just, I don't know, melon?" Um, if they ask you to call them that, is it a
Okay,
problem?
all right, fine.
For me, it's not. Just crack on. If you want me to call you melon, I'll call you melon. But you might be a human. If you want me to call you melon, I'll call you melon. It's cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have something to say about this, please type it out in the comments, because I don't get why this is a problem. I just
Mm.
don't get it. I don't get the controversy. I don't understand that, and somebody needs to explain it to me. And just write us an email at thebinpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll have you on the show, and you can explain it to us and everything, and we can have a discussion about it. But we need to talk about this shit. And I know that fucking J.K. Rowling's thing was back in June, but I've seen this pop on Twitter and Instagram in feminist movements in Sweden, in Norway, and around Europe. I don't know a lot about the feminist movement in the US, but I'm just gonna take a big dive and say that it's not a lot different from over here. So yeah, no, fucking hell. You want to discuss this with us? Please send us an email at thebinpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll let's discuss it.
There's several people asking about an after show, so perhaps they can come in the after show.
Yeah, or we'll have an after show. If you have an
I am
opinion about
reaching
this,
out to someone right now
Okay.
who's a fashion designer from my neck of the woods, who's on the telly and is a big advocate of gay and trans rights. So I'm just going to see if he wants to come on.
If you guys would like to come into the after party, just shoot me a DM on Twitter. It can be at We the Deviants, or you can do at Bidden Podcast, and I'll
you
get
can
either one
also
of those.
go to thedeviants.com and go to the
No,
contact page.
no, because all you'll see is Mikey Famin's face and then it cuts to a BBC.
All of these ridiculous rehashings of this will have someone else's voice attached to it. I'm just making sure that that's known. That's why I make sure that there's a cutoff point. So if they want to
Alright.
clip it, someone else can
All
right.
right.
see
Can we,
who's doing the same.
We're gonna wrap this up now.
Yeah.
No Christopher Wallace? Well, we could do that in the after show too.
No. Let's quickly touch on that.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So, Brenna, you wanna state this for us? But all right. So, what we are gonna do, because as you all know, swoosh, changing topics. There was a presidential debate on Tuesday, and
Really?
yes,
Sorry.
it was, and it was epic. It was fantastic. So, gentlemen, now that we've written a lot of shit in our chat, I'm gonna post a link for you again in the chat, and you can pull it up. So I need
Let's
Mikey
table the boys.
and Wayne to do this, and of course, Wayne is gonna be playing the part of Donald J. Trump
in the Trump voice.
in his best Trump voice.
Tremendous.
All right. Where do we want to start?
Our good Mikey Famine is gonna be
No,
Vice President Joe Biden.
it's got to
Yes,
be
you are.
it's got to be Brenna.
Brenna, are you going to be Joe Biden?
Why? Why can't I be Chris Wallace?
All right, I'll be Joe Biden because I'm slow.
Because you haven't got your hand over your nose.
And I like smelling women's hair when they don't ask me to. So,
Perfect.
Oh God.
I know.
Really? Are we really doing this?
yeah. No, I already tried to kidnap Brenna. Her neighbors got really upset by it.
Yeah, fucking
Next time,
millennial.
at least give me the right address.
You like the dogs, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not
Alright,
chickens,
so-
but they'll do in a pinch.
Wait. I've got the transcript up there. We're not doing all of this, surely.
No. We are going
Which
to
one?
start. We are going to start at 11:11.
11. All right. I'm just scrolling. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, like I've watched this and
Right,
I've
okay.
tried to read through this transcript. It's like existing in an ongoing stroke. It's absolutely fucking horrible because it makes no sense at all. All right,
Is this
so
is this a mockery of like trying to get an English geezer to do an American accent that's Donald Trump?
Who starts?
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace starts.
God, this is like fucking Amdram.
All right. Over the last 4 years, you promised to repeal and replace Obamacare. But you have never, in these 4 years, come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan, to replace Obamacare.
Yes, I have. Of course, I have. The individual mandate.
When I finish, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Give an opportunity.
Excuse me, I got rid of the individual mandate, which is a big chunk of Obamacare.
That's not a comprehensive place.
That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
I didn't ask, sir.
Chris, that was the worst part of Obamacare.
You're debating him, not me.
Well,
Let me ask my question.
I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare.
Mr. President.
I got rid of it, and
Mr. President, I'm the moderator of this debate and would
Go
like
ahead.
to let you let
go
I'd
ahead.
like to
Go ahead.
like you to
Go
let
ahead.
me
Go
let
ahead.
me let me ask my question. Then you can answer.
All right, and
Go
this
ahead.
is how bad this actually was.
I'm about to say I can't take much more of this.
I can't do it, and I'm talking.
I was
like,
switching
I'm
back and
the
forth.
like normal person on this.
So if you don't get it, like Mike Wallace hadn't even gotten his
Chris
question
Chris.
in. Chris Wallace hasn't even gotten his question in by the end of this minute. Right? It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And
Sorry, look at the
he's
next line. Look at the next line.
yes.
Well, first of all, I can still debating you. Not him, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So I would I'm gonna post a link as soon as I find that
Yeah,
because
go
I've been to YouTube but and looking at different kinds of videos. But yes, there are chickens in there. But there's this video when they've done a mashup of all the times that Chris Wallace tried to, because Chris Wallace really did quite a good job at trying to restrain him. The thing is that the format doesn't work with a guy like Donald J. Trump. If no, but you're shaking your head, Wayne. But Chris Wallace tried to stay with the format.
I'm shaking my head because it doesn't work unless you've got a mute button. Unless you have
No,
host
but even
hours.
No, but even with the mute button fucking pressed way fucking in, you could still hear him going rah, 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 in the
The thing
back.
is that in audio, they do have a mute button. They could have muted him. There's always an option. But what they didn't do that. And your question is really, why did they allow this type of behavior? I mean, to go on. Yes, you can show that Donald Trump's a crazy person, that all he does is blah 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 on, but Chris Wallace was like, should have just let him ramble and just let him get off of that and say your time is up, and then move on to Joe Biden and given Joe Biden his, what was it, like
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah, 2 minutes, and just let Trump ramble on for the 2 minutes and then give Joe Biden a chance and just ask the question to Joe Biden. If Trump doesn't want to even listen to the question, don't let him. Let him sound like the crazy guy. Let him not be able to. They can shut off his mic. There's a button. There's
Yes,
a mute button.
President of the goddamn United fucking States, you shouldn't have to mute his fucking mic to get the guy to answer a goddamn fucking question.
That's why I think and you know what? This is equal thing too. It should always have been this way from the very beginning of live debates, that Mike should have been cut off at the time. and just done it that way and put that precedent, not president, but precedent in place and said, if I give you 2 minutes, that's all you get. If I give you 30 seconds, that's all you get. Everybody has to play by equal rules.
All right.
And if Trump wants to ramble on, let him ramble on. Give him those 2 minutes, let him ramble on, and then have Joe Biden answer it. And then Chris Wallace comes in with the mute button and mutes them both at 2 minutes.
It was
This is why I didn't want to talk about the fucking debate.
it was such an audio dumpster fire that I could barely even get into the politics of the dumpster fire. Like the politics dumpster fire was behind the audio and the shitty moderation of the debate. Yeah. Like that's just shitty moderation.
And I don't think it has anything to do with Fox News being the,
No, definitely not. the thing that frustrated me the most was the fact that it was this is the format. You've agreed to the format, and now you're just fucking up.
I believe there even was everybody has agreed to the format in
Yeah. So there was supposed to be a 2-minute monologue at the end of the debate, and even then Biden was interrupted by Trump, and he asked for 30 seconds back. He got 30 seconds back, and then he repeatedly jumped in on him, and Chris Wallace would not jump in and say, "Shut up, you absolute cunt."
And
well, he couldn't say that because cunt here is a bad word, but he could say like,
"Oh, it's a bad word, it's a term of endearment."
No, it's worse. It's not the same. It's not the same level.
It's got a lot of venoms here still.
Yeah. Anyway.
Should we wrap?
Yes, we should.
I'm sorry anybody had to listen to any part of that debate, whether it was here or in the recordings prior. But this is shit. And
your fucking prime ace, goddamn Boris Johnson, sit down. Sorry, Brenna.
All right, everybody.
All right, this has been the Ben Podcast.
Let's leave.
Yeah, from Wayne, from Brenna, from Mikey, from Cortez, and of course me.
Chicken fucker.
Yeah, that's. This has been a Ben Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are going to go straight into after show. DM Mikey on Twitch, YouTube.
All abuse directed at Mikey.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we don't need him.
We'd like to see you there. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you go into patreon.com/thebinpodcast, get your pledges in, you share, you subscribe, and you comment. Have a nice evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Bye.
Cheerio.